Hello and welcome back to Belmont Bunch, once again hosted by generic white protagonist number 5 in every video game, in my Doomsday Bunker. We're going to talk about the Nashville Predators, represented here by the Quinnipiac Bobcats, because I don't have a Predators jersey, and this is basically the old layout, which I prefer anyway, and the Arizona Coyotes. This is a 6v11 matchup. Let's get into it. Okay, so first, we're going to go over the Arizona Coyotes and their lineup. A lineup that hasn't been very potent offensively, even with a few big names in there. Taylor Hall, Phil Kessel, Clayton Keller. Wow, that's really impressive. What kind of offense does this team have? They must be over 3 goals per game. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not great. You got some aging guys in there, Richardson, Grabner, who have not provided as much as they used to. You've got Christian Fischer, who has not been great. You have Hinestroza. I mean, obviously, Garland missing is a problem. A guy that is over 20 goals. He's a short king. He got hit in the face with a puck and scored earlier in the year, which is sick. Soderberg continues to be fairly productive. It's the perfect guy to bring in if you got a hole in your lineup, and it's just like, I don't know, year of this guy. Lawson Krause has finally started to break out a little bit. I believe it was 15 goals he was up to. Not bad numbers. Derek Stepan getting a little bit older, lost a step or two. Not great. I think down the middle, it's not bad. Not bad. It's just, it's very, Schmaltz, though, is young and he's progressing, and, that he's going to need to take a step for this team to really get going, because I think what they're missing is that pivot that's just a great playmaker. Because when you have, obviously Kessel's getting older and he showed his age a bit this year too. But Keller, Hall, Kessel, just give them a little bit more explosive of a center, and that team is really scary. Now defensively, you've got Chychrun, who has been really good this year. Him and Garland, put back into the lineup, which looks possible. That's like another 30, 35 goals that they from their lineup that they're missing. So that's big. Lyubushkin probably jumps out. He's one of my favorite names to say. Ekman-Larsson, offensive numbers-wise, not what they used to be. I mean, he used to also have Keith Yandel playing with him, and you would have 2 of the best offensive defensemen in the game. But, he's currently paired with a very defensive defenseman in Lyubushkin. Second pairing, Goligoski and Hjalmarsson. Good veteran experience. Goligoski still putting up some offensive numbers. Osterley and Demers, I've heard. I actually sat next to Demers' mother-in-law last year at an Islander game near the end, I think in March, when Arizona visited the Collie. And we were also in the wrong seats for the whole first period and didn't realize it. We got to meet the mother-in-law. Nobody really cares. I just wanted to say that. Anyway, in goal, great tandem this year. Ranta, who, former Ranger goalie, has been good, but not great. He and Kemper, have been stellar. Kemper, for a lot of the year before he took an injury, was leading the league in save percentage for a while. So, yeah, very defensive team. You could see by their stats, one of the better defensive teams in the game. Offensively, a little bit challenged. Power play, not too bad for a team that doesn't score very much. Penalty kill, pretty good. So, not a ton of surprises with this team. Chychrun and Garland look like they will be ready, which is another 20 goals and something like 12 goals for Chychrun. So look out. Maybe the offense gets a little bit of a injection And, Garland getting thrown into this lineup would be nice and helpful for the goal scoring. Especially if Kessel wants to wake up. Anytime you want to wake up, buddy, and you have an amazing right side if you get Garland back in there. But anyway, let's look at their number 6 seeded opponent, the Nashville Predators. Ooh, a little big on the sleeves. And the ribbing makes you look a little extra chunky on the sides, but that could just be me. All right. The Nashville Predators, a team coming close to the end of its cup window in some likelihood. Obviously, their defense is still pretty impressive if you don't look at the bottom pairing. But this is more so talking about Pekka Rinne and how unfortunate it is that it's just never worked out in the playoffs. He had a great run in 2016 or 17. Eventually, not having so much luck in the Stanley Cup final against Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh ruined a couple of potential first-time winners in 2 years between them and the Sharks. But anyway, go to the lines. A decent offensive group. This is also from, as with all of the lines that I've been showing, it's from Daily Faceoff. So this is the first one where I really would disagree with Daily Faceoff's lineup a little bit, because Colton Sissons is okay, but I'm pretty sure Victor Arvidsson and his speed gets bumped into the top 6. I'm not exactly sure why he's on the 4th line there. Turris has earned his spot on the 4th line, on the other hand. So, yeah, Craig Smith, been pretty good this year, absolutely tore the Islanders apart. I mean, the Predators did that in general in the 2 meetings. Mikael Granlund, real disappointment, coming over from Minnesota last year. Feels like 8 years ago already. There are 2 centers, Johansson and Duchesne. On paper, it's really good, but I know, as David Poyle had kind of said, gotta expect a little bit more. I don't know what it is with Duchesne. The minute he gets out of Colorado, that team wakes up and plays really well, and is now looking like, Colorado projects to be a really good team for not just a few years now, but for a little while now. And I don't know, attitude thing maybe, but I don't know. The drive doesn't seem like it's there as much. So yeah, Forsberg still pretty productive. He probably plays first line minutes for this team at the moment. Rocco Grimaldi, short Kings rise. Last year in the playoffs, despite a first round exit, he was very impressive against Dallas. He got the goal scoring touch, made all the short Kings proud. Bonino, good third line center, perfect role for him. This year he's been pretty productive, exactly what you would want out of your third line center, so good addition there. Defensively, you have a Norris contender in Roman Josi. Ryan Ellis, always very good. You've got Matthias Ekholm, whatever you prefer, also very good. Dante Fabro, who projects to be very good in the near future. For now, it's still a work in progress. And then you've got Corbin Holzer, love that, and Tenorti. That is not good. Their advanced stats, if you look on Daily Faceoff, they have a color-coded way to show their advanced stats, and dark red is not good. It's not good for a defenseman. Actually, it's not good for any of the positions because they do the same color coding for every position. But yeah, either way, not great. Kind of AHL level defense there. They gave up a lot of goals this year, more goals than they scored. So that's a little bit scary. Their power play continues to be an issue. And the firepower on paper looks like it's there. When Peter Laviolette was fired, also being a former Islander fan, I will fit the Islanders into everything. But he was a great coach for the Islanders. He's been a great coach for a while. I was a little bit shocked when they fired him. I thought it was more about the players not performing, more so than there's a bug on my camera stand. Don't worry about it. I kind of still think that based on the fact that this team is not a bad team on paper, and they still have a three-headed dragon on defense, and Fabro, eventually maybe he could be that too. But and then the goaltending, Rene's just fallen off a cliff this year. Maybe that's with the third pairing that they're trotting out not being so great. And then Saros, one of the smaller goalies in the league. Man, the short kings in this team make me proud. He's been very good, and he's pretty much stolen the crease. And I would be shocked if he doesn't start game one of this qualifying round series based on just the merit of his play. So let's do what we've been doing for the last few videos. Start with the numbers. Numbers, obviously, Nashville has the edge in goal scoring. Arizona is known for their lack of goal scoring recently. But defensively, they're much better than Nashville. And that is without some of the sexier names. So that's impressive. Although Nashville's sexier names also put up a lot of points. And, a give and take there. Power play, not a huge difference. You would kind of expect Nashville with the talent level to maybe be better than that. But then again, you could probably say the same of the Coyotes with Taylor Hall, Phil Kessel, Clayton Keller. So yeah, there's that. Penalty kill, not good. Nashville special teams, bad. And I know how that feels. I've seen that before. That is very frustrating, especially in the playoffs. We're going to go through who's better in each area. Goaltending, got to be Arizona. You got two possible starters there. Rene's fallen off a cliff. Saros is good, but having the flexibility in a 5-game series, one guy has a bad game, next guy up, it's very nice. It's nice to have, and we've seen during the regular season they keep each other fresh. I know there were injuries and stuff too, and now everybody's gonna be fresh, so there's that too. That was just my moment to talk about two goalie systems and how important they are now in keeping your main goalie fresh. Toronto Maple Leafs. Obviously, I'm gonna give the Predators the edge in forward group. Arvidsson in for Sissons, and that's a pretty good top 6. This is a good top 6 too, but they need to prove that they can score before I can just say, oh, on paper they're great because he's a 90 in NHL and he wins the scoring title every year when you do be a GM mode. I play a lot of that. So yeah, I can't just go off video game stuff. I could. Probably be terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah. Predators, offense. Defense, I'm gonna go with Arizona. Obviously, the Predators, on paper, better. Goaltending has to play into that, of course. But just looks like maybe a better coached unit at the moment for Arizona, and their system just works for them. Coaches, we have seen over the last couple of years, coaches are still really important in the NHL, mostly through their systems. They can lift up talent, they can hold back talent, and in this case, Arizona does a good job of playing to their strengths. So, after splitting the first two, we go to goaltending, and it's got to be Arizona, because Pekka Rinne just fell off a cliff, and you got two good goalies here. Saros is a pretty good goalie. I got to see him at the Coliseum this year, in a game where the Islanders led 3-1 and then lost 8-3. So, yeah. I have my prediction. I'm going to go with Arizona, the 11 seed, taking out the 6-seeded Predators and pretty much closing the window and probably creating a lot of movement in the offseason for Nashville should they not win this series, should they not go far at all, because they're going to have to make some decisions. Maybe a new GM comes in, or they let David Poile try to tinker around for one more offseason. But we shall see. The Arizona Coyotes, a little bit better rounded, maybe better suited for a playoff series. And that's with, their talent. It's like lurking. When is that offensive talent going to wake up? Connor Garland and Jacob Chikrin come back in. That injects more offense into the lineup. And I do think they could stifle the Predators offensively, especially with those power play numbers being so bad for Nashville. So yeah, that's what I'm going with. We're going to go Arizona and a little bit of a bold pick. We'll call it 4. I really like Arizona in the system that they play. So Arizona in this series, we are going to wrap up the Western Conference in the next video. That will be the 5. Yes, the 5 against the 12. We will have the Edmonton Oilers and the Chicago Blackhawks. So, like and subscribe in the thing below. Let us know how you're doing. How about that? Just be like, hey, Tom, I'm doing great. And I'll just be like, yeah. James, it's up to you if you want that in the video. The bug is still there. All right, I'll see you next time.